All right, here we go.
All right, go ahead. Awesome. I love it. I'm looking forward to your presentation. All right. And just put any questions into chat. Introduce Mike as well, too. If you want to wholesale, let him know in the chat. All right. He's, and I love Mike because he's just like, he's very techy and very simple and stuff, too. So you're going to love him. All right. I'm out.
Thanks. All right, here we go. All right, wholesaling from your smartphone by me, Mike the Wholesaler. And there's my contact info, Facebook group. I'm Mike the Wholesaler, not the Wholesaler Watkins, but Mike the Wholesaler on all social media if you want to follow me. You can text script to 678-439-5699 to get my seller script. And that's if the seller calls in, how you respond. And I've got what you would say or what they would say, and then how you respond to that stuff. And a little bit about me. I'm married to an amazing, beautiful, shy wife. Wouldn't let me put any pictures on here. I got my kids. Here is Noah and Lincoln. Here's Noah, and here's Lincoln. And there they are again. And I collect Monopolies. By the way, if you have the McDonald's Monopoly, that little one, wasn't able to get that, let me know. I'll hook you up. I'm the wholesaling supergroup leader of REI USA. I won Teacher of the Year in 2018. This is some carryover from just becoming a wholesaler. I'm going to somewhat assume you know how to wholesale, but if you don't, here are some cool memes. You can screenshot this and steal some of these memes. I love this one. I never see you at the club. And I'm like, well, I never see you at the bank, right? So if you don't know what wholesaling is, it is you market to properties, you get those properties under contract, and then instead of actually closing on the property, finding the money, maybe you don't have the credit or the funds to get hard money, you can then sell that contract to someone else. You're the middle person, you get paid in the middle at closing, and you repeat. So as you can see, wholesaling is basically what Stacy was doing, all the house flippers are doing, except at the start, maybe you don't have the ability to get a property. You instead sell that property to somebody else or that contract. And then when you do that, you get a little bit of money. And so that later on you build up that capital and you can get the down payment or the 1 or 2% needed to get a hard money loan. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube. So I have started recently going driving for deals live on Twitch, and I can't go live driving for deals on YouTube because you have to have 1,000 followers or subscribers. So subscribe to me on YouTube so I can go live. But for now, I'll be on Twitch, and I'll be under the real estate video game on there because you stream video games on there. But I will be going driving for deals in my car with my phone, looking at me, and I'll be looking at houses. So you can, almost like a ride along, you can come with me. So follow me on Twitch and YouTube. All right, so here we go. The smartphone apps. These are the apps you need. You don't need all of them, but you do need some of them, okay? So we've got Podio, which is free. Now, after a certain point, it begins to cost, I think it's over 500 leads in there. It begins to cost $10 per person per month. Batch driven starts at $50 a month. Deal Machine 2. Those are your CRMs. Those are how you're going to manage your leads. Okay. Flipping America Network and REI USA. REI USA costs $40. Flipping America Network is free, but when you sell your deal, they get $100 out of the deal. So it's free up front, but it does cost that $100. Okay. And the only reason I've got Flipping America Network in there for the offloading, the disposition of properties, is because REI USA doesn't have an app yet. Okay. But when they do, that will be replacing Flipping America Network. Google Voice for your voice. I've got Mojo over here. Those two are your phone systems. Google Maps and Waze. They do the same thing. Waze will get you anywhere quicker and will alert you of cops that people go in there and they say, hey, there's a cop at this intersection and there's a speed trap at this other intersection. And so it's a little bit better. But Google Maps will let you track a route. So if you have access to a computer beforehand, Google Voice or Google Maps will be a better option. Then we've got All Trails, Land Glide. The All Trails will track your route, and then Land Glide will sort of do what Deal Machine does and Batch Driven, in that it will show you about properties. Then we've got the Driving for Dollars app, and of course the Mojo Dialer app, which is not 50 per month, it is 97 per month. So that's a little typo on my part. So as you can see here, we've got a couple options for the CRM, managing your leads. We've got two options for disposition and selling the deals once you get them. Then we've got a couple options for calling and talking directly to the seller. Batch Driven and Deal Machine have the added option of mailing to the seller for you. You just click a button on those. They will take a picture of the property. You can even pay for 20 extra bucks a month and they will add a image to the postcard. So they'll send that out. So you can do mail and calling them. With the Mojo Dialer app, you could technically have somebody else call for you. So there is that. You can have people call them for you while you're finding the deals, or you can even have other people find the deals for you and other people finding or calling the seller and marketing for you. So you got a bunch of options there. And then you have ways to track the routes and to find out their info. So the CRM must manage the leads in a searchable way. It must be in the cloud, allow other users, be customizable, create web forms, work with Zapier. Now, if it does all of the stuff, the reason you want stuff to work with Zapier is that Zapier will work with Deal Machine and a whole bunch of other apps. But if all of that is contained within a CRM like Batch Driven, there's no need for Zapier. So that doesn't apply to Batch Driven. But integrate with Craigslist, have a phone app. Podio does all of these. Let me move this window, but we'll need some computer setup. When you create your account, tell them you're in the real estate industry. I have logged in this morning and created a new account with one of my son's emails, and it doesn't work that way anymore. But you used to just be able to create an account in Safari or in the browser on your phone, and you would just say, hey, I'm in the real estate industry, and it would automatically download that real estate applet suite, a bunch of apps to manage your seller leads and all of that. But now they don't do that. And I believe you can go to the store and get them, but you may need some computer setup ahead of time. So for Podio, if you may need some computer setup ahead of time and you don't have a computer, then you can just go to the library and log onto their computer, set that up, and then from then on, you won't need your phone. But if you go the Batch Driven way or the Deal Machine way, you won't. You can do it just from your phone. Oh, I'm not clicked on here. Okay. So let's go look at Podio. All right, let me get on here and pause my share so y'all don't see my stuff. And I will. There we go. All right.
Do, 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 do.
doesn't remember so I made an email just for today, but I guess not. All right, so I'll log into my old one and we'll just make a new workspace. All right. Is it gonna sign in?
All we see is just like, I guess, is this your YouTube page?
No, oh. No, I was
Oh no,
pausing.
this is your, I see Twitch TV is what I see.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're looking at right now.
I paused the share so you didn't see my login info.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're looking now at your Twitch TV is what we're looking at.
Okay. All right, there we go.
For those of us that don't know what Twitch is, what is Twitch?
Twitch is where you play video games on your computer and people watch you play them.
Okay, no wonder I don't know about that.
Yeah. But they do allow you to, there's a real estate game on there that you can go under. And so I was like, oh, I can stream to here because I can't stream on YouTube because you need a bunch of followers.
Okay, so now we see Podio.
Good.
Okay, so you're still using Podio.
No, well, I mean, my account is still active, but I'm not using it. So I'm going to go here. So when you first get into Podio, you can come here and create an organization. And we'll just make a quick one here. Create. And so now I have a all right, so I'll create a new workspace. I'll link it to the new organization that I just created, Wholesale from my phone. You can name the organization after your business or simply wholesaling wherever you are. And then this will be Wholesale for the REI USA. You can make it open or private. And if you need more on this to go more in depth into Podio, you can find that in that 12-week wholesaling course. Okay, I don't want anybody else. All right, so we can go to add app and then go to the app store. And in here, we go down to real estate. And then up here, you can see how many stars they have. So you want one with 5 stars. And these are packs. So they come with all of these apps in them. And you can see real estate business, real estate investment, and I am going to go with this one. Get pack, select which workspace you want to get it, and then hit next, and it will just put all those apps into your Podio. So we'll click on to see it. All right, and now we can see it. And then let's see if it will let me show my screen on my phone. All right, signing in on there. Okay, now I'm going to share the screen on my phone or on my iPad, but my iPad is just like a phone. So let me know if you can see that. And in the meantime, I'll check the chat.
Nothing. Oh, we see Podio still. There it goes. Okay, now it's looking.
Okay, good,
now
good.
we can see.
All right. All right, so these wholesale from my phone. The employee network is your employees. You've got a demo workspace, but we'll go to wholesale for the REI USA. We've got all the apps over here in the side, all the activity. So if anybody deletes your stuff or whatever, you will see it right in here. Okay, so we have incoming request, contacts, communication log, leads, property inspections, appointments, offers, closings, and marketing campaigns. So here you can do everything from Podio. You can manage all your leads. You can even plug in a new lead right here. So you can plug all this info in, if it's a cold deal or a warm deal or a hot deal, all of that right there. Okay. Let me go back to what I'm talking about next. So that is Podio. Let me pause my share for just a second, and I will open up batch driven. And of course, it zoomed in on my house. So it's good that I did that. All right. So here is batch driven. Now, batch driven is just like Podio. It can track all of your leads right here. You can go to properties and you see all these properties right there. I've got 34,000. And let's see, we can click on one. You can see the lead here. You can see what folder it's in. If it's new, I can make it a hot deal if I wanted to. I can see the messages, all the info on it, and I can even skip trace right from here. And you see right there, real time. And then I can start sending them SMS if I wanted to. Let me do this one right here. And this one is this campaign, and it'll go out today. It's got one property, create new campaign. There we go. So it's going to send them a text, and you can see there it's got one text going out, and it will send them this campaign template that I've created here already called Taki2 method. We'll send them a message every 2 days, and it's something like, hey, how can we help you? Do you need contractors? Do you need to find tenants? All that kind of stuff. And then I've got all this extra info here that you might need right from my phone. And it pulled the Google Street View. So if I forgot to snap a pic, or if for some reason I don't have a picture of the property, it will put one there, and then it will place this picture onto a postcard right here. Let's see, send mail. And then I can go to template, and I can select all these templates, and you see we got one here. It'll put a picture of the house on the postcard, and it will say repeat every 21 days, and we'll do 5. All right, now I'm sending mail, I'm sending text, I'm hitting them up from 2 different ways. And then of course, all of these phone numbers will go to Mojo Dialer, and my property managers will call them. Okay. So here, as well as the other apps that I'm about to show you, you can start tracking. I'm not going to hit that because it's going to zoom into my house. And I mean, y'all are cool, but I don't want people showing up here randomly. But it will track your route along the street. So as you drive, it'll put a little car and you'll drive. And then you can just click on a house just like Deal Machine. And click on this house right here. This is in Fort Worth. I used to do some wholesaling out here. I can then view the property, and I can do all that stuff I just did. I can pick a folder for it. I saw one. Here we go, test run. And I've got all this info, And let me show you this before I go. You even have all of this, like they're Catholic, they're single, male, how old they are, all this cool info, loan info as well, and everything. And then if you already have a list, you can upload a list and it will put it in there. And then, oh, all of the routes that you do drive, when it tracks your route, you want to track your route when you drive because you want to make sure that you hit every road in that neighborhood. It's really, it hurts when you see a deal done in a neighborhood that you drove for deals in a couple weeks ago, and you go and you check your map and you find out, oh, that's the one road in that neighborhood I didn't go down. And then also, it all of the other people in that go driving and track their routes, it's going to show all of those in the same area, and you can see which areas aren't getting touched, which areas are getting overlapped, and they start out up to 6 months, I think, or maybe it's 4 months. They are blue, and then they turn yellow after, I think, 3 more months, and then 3 months later they turn red. So you know which areas are old and haven't been driven in a while, so you can redrive them. So if you have this army of people out there driving for you, you will know it. So that's batch driven. So you've got two options. You've got Podio or batch driven for your CRM. Then we go to Deal Machine. Okay, so Deal Machine is $50 a month. I think they go up to 100 and then up to 2,000 or 3,000 for the year. It is a driving for deals app, just like batch driven. Do it after you drop the kids off at school, on your way to and from work, while you're on Uber. And again, let me pause my share. And I'll open up. Oh, I can't open up Deal Machine. Okay. Well, since I can't share Deal Machine, I will show you this. So this is all that I talked about. You can go to dealmachine.com and watch their videos on it. Since I don't have a Deal Machine app, I can't do that. But if you go to their website, you'll see videos on how they're better than batch driven in that they can get other people to drive for you. So you get a link to a deal finder website and you can upload your own video. They've got videos on there already, and they will then teach people how to drive for deals for you. They have webinars in the app that teach you on how to find people to do that and how to get them to pay for it. And you'll pay them, I think it's $1 per deal that you find, $1 per house, and that's the best way to go. So you pay them $1 per house and then 500 when you close. And then as well, we've got the Driving for Dollars app. And the reason you want that Driving for Dollars app, if you can't afford Deal Machine, is that the Driving for Dollars app will track all the properties that you get, and then it will put them into a spreadsheet that you can email to a VA or somewhere else. So if you can't do Deal Machine, the least you can do is the Driving for Dollars app. But again, as I don't have a Driving for Dollars account, they're not gonna really show me anything. Google Maps. So Google Maps is cool. If you're on the computer, you can go to mymaps.com or Google My Maps and click on the first link that pops up, and you can create your own map in Google Maps. If you go to week, I believe it is 4 in the 12-week wholesaling course, I will go in depth on how to drive for deals. And that's one of the things I teach you how to do is I teach you how to make your own map and put points. So that when you have the Google Maps, when you're out and about, you can hit a button and it will track you to each neighborhood. And when you get to that neighborhood, it will then automatically route you to the next spot. So you don't have to fiddle with your phone. You're not in this neighborhood, because it gets a little scary when you're in a neighborhood and you're sitting in your car in front of somebody's house, you know. So you want to constantly be slowly driving around. It is free, and you use it to drive for deals, and will route you from area to area. All right, I don't need to show you Google Maps. All right, Flipping America Network. So Flipping America Network is an app by Roger Blankenship. It's all over America. You can make a free account. You post deals right from the app. You take pictures, you put them in there. It is, however, $100 when you wholesale to the buyer. And what buyers will do, and the reason why the app is cool, is you can pay $100 to have exclusive access to a zip code. So every month you pay $100 to have that zip code for 24 hours. So when you post a deal and it's got that zip code in there, if it's a good zip code, when it goes in there, someone will see it. They will have 24 hours to make a decision or give it up, meaning they're going to think long and hard about your deal before letting it go out to everybody 24 hours later. So that is good, but it does cost $100 on the back end. And unlike REI USA, REI USA does not, or I mean, they do not teach you about real estate and have classes like this. It is simply just selling properties. That's all they do. Okay, so REI USA, you can bookmark it right now. And when you bookmark it on your iPad or your iPhone, it will make a little icon. I'm sure you can do this on a Google phone as well. Log into your account. You can post deals on there right from the browser. And let me share that. Right from the browser, you can post 400 plus buyers in the REI USA. I think it's not a Rolodex, but there's over 400 plus members in there, and they are all buyers. Oh yeah, and there's my boys right there. Okay, so REI USA.
And we just added another 150.
Oh yeah. And so they all put their
Yeah.
stuff on there, what they're looking for, how much they want to buy, how much repairs, all that stuff, and their phone numbers are there. You don't need to skip trace them, nothing. You just call them up and say, hey, I've got a deal for you. Or you can call them up ahead of time and say, hey, if I find one in this same zip code like that, would you buy it? And of course they'll say, yeah, like who doesn't want good deals? And there you go. Look at that. Look at that guy right there. Okay. Sorry. It's cool seeing your face on the internet like that.
Is that you? Because it looks
Yeah,
totally different.
I know. I grew my beard out from the corona.
You grew your beard out for COVID?
Yeah, I think they're called COVID beards. Okay, here we go. Property listings. All right, so you can see these properties on here of other people that are selling them. Get a picture, guys. Okay. All right. Oh, and if you want to post your property there, you can go here. Under properties for sale, you can go to add/manage. And you can add a property. You can put all the stuff in here. You can add all the info, features, media. And you can also do Airbnb. And so you can post that in here as well. Okay. And you can even wholesale Airbnb properties. So you have an Airbnb property, somebody will buy that property or buy the contract to buy that property from you. And that's how you do that. And then of course, basic information. And then from this screen, you can go back. And down here, down in this area, you can see all of the other properties you've put up, and you can see which ones you've sold already, and of course, get rid of those and do that. Okay. So next is the phone system. So phone system is, if you don't have a lot of money, it's going to be Gmail. So Gmail, you get your Gmail account, you go to Google Voice, Google Voice, and then click on the first link that comes up. Link a free, I think it's called a virtual number, to your Google Gmail account, and anytime somebody calls or leaves a message or sends a text, excuse me, you're going to get an email about that. And even when they leave a voicemail, it's going to write it all out for you as well. There's an app. I would hand this out to people before handing out my actual phone number, because if my actual phone number gets changed like it has in the past, you can then route that Google Voice number to the new number, and that number will stay with you forever. So you don't have to send out your new phone number and all that stuff. Just a hassle. It's free. It's part of G Suite. You can get a Google Voice number and get it with a local area code to where you are going to be wholesaling. So if you're in Georgia, but you're wholesaling in Fort Worth, get a Fort Worth area code on there, okay? Because you want them to see that local area code. Because if they don't see a look like here in Georgia, it's 404-770-678. And yeah, it's those three in the Atlanta area. So if I get a phone number and it's not one of those, I'm less likely to pick it up. All right, and you can go to that link, voice.google.com, and get Google Voice. And then we've got the Mojo Dialer. Okay, so it is $97 a month, and you can upload a list.
We only see your property, the REI USA, just FYI.
Okay.
So, okay, there you go.
Here we go.
Show us Mojo Dialer. Yeah, I want to see what this looks like.
Okay, so this is, can I see it too? Yeah, okay, I see it. All right.
Okay, yeah, it was like a it was like, yeah, there it goes. Okay, we can see it. It's there you go.
Oh, it's got to be sideways. Okay. All right, so here we are. You've got everything in here, calendar settings. None of that really matters. If you're on the computer, I don't know if you can upload a list on the phone, but they've got lists in here. And if you're on your phone, you're going to have cellular data, so you would be able to call. I don't think they're going to let me call on here, but we'll find out. They've got a training list here with all of these contacts. Here's all the stuff. And you click up here on Power Dialer. You're about to go into the calling mode, okay? This is gonna like get your heart pumping the first time you go. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be talking to real people. Continue to the dialer. It's gonna let us do that. Okay. All right, and we want the smart dialer down here. So if you can see my mouse, where it's this down at the bottom, those two red that says start, click to call. You don't want that one. You want the power dialer. Okay. And let me turn it up. All right. To connect to Mojo. Oh, okay. So I've got to dial that number. All right. So on your phone, you're going to call that number and then put in that PIN. And what it's going to do is through your phone, it will call the first number here. So this first contact up here, it's going to call this person. Mojo contact number 1. It's going to call them. And if they pick up, you'll start talking to them. It will display the script. Of course, in this account, I've uploaded that script that I had into it. And in the certain parts in the script where it says my name, it will actually put my name in. So for the other account I have for my other acquisition manager, it will put her name in there. And then it also puts in, we want to purchase your property at blank. It will put their property address, the address here, 123 Main Street. It will put that address in there. So all you have to do is just read that script. I think they call it dynamic scripts, I want to say. So cool. And of course, you could do all this if you were on your phone. You could do all this from your phone, but I'm on my iPad here, so it's not going to let me do it. And then if you don't have lists, you can, I believe, it will let you buy lists. No, not in the app. Okay. But you are able to buy a list of for sale by owner, or a list of, you can buy a list of recently expireds, anything from the MLS you can buy. So if you don't have a realtor's license, you have access to those cool lists. Okay. So now let's go into, let me pause my share one more time. I'm going to open up All Trails. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. So here is All Trails, and you can route. I'm not going to hit the track route because it'll go right to my house. But it will put a red line down on anywhere you go. Now this is supposed to be for like hiking and, going out to the wilderness and dying from bear attacks and stuff like that, like stuff we don't need to be doing. But this is just what I use it for. So you can pay an extra, I think, $10 a month and go hiking with it, and it'll track your route so you can get back to where you are. But what I use it for is it just puts a red line down. Now it's just gonna be a red line. And the free version is only gonna have one recording. So you're gonna have that one big red line map that you're gonna have, and it's not gonna change color depending on how old that list is. You're just gonna have to eyeball it, but it is free, and that's what that does. Let me see if you can track your route and you can upgrade for more trails. Okay. All right, and then we have Land Glide. Now, Land Glide is $10 a month. It can't track your route, or it doesn't. So if you do have Land Glide, you'll also need All Trails. You'll open up All Trails, track your route. You'll drive your route, it'll track. Then Land Glide will put a map, but it also put the lot lines. Okay. And each lot line will go around the lot, and then it will have the owner's info, but it will have all the tax info. It will put it into a spreadsheet and email it to you. You can click on and see who owns it. It'll give you, I think, all the information you would if you looked it up on the county website, which is all of the same stuff you get if you have batch driven and I think Deal Machine too. So if you have those two, you won't need Land Glide. But if you're going the super cheap route, and if you don't have a lot of money, you can have Land Glide, All Trails, Google Maps, Google Voice. So there's a way that you can actually do all of this pretty cheap. Okay, so I can't show you that. I really like to. So here, podcasts. When you're in your car on your phone, you can listen to Flipping America Network. Mine when it comes out. Chantel Owens, Deanna Britt, Stacy Rossetti has one, and I think I'm on that one, and that one's going to be awesome. REI USA, so look out for that one. And so you can learn while you're driving for deals. All right, and then you need about 600 sellers to about 300 buyers in your market. How to find buyers, you can use ListSource. Well, it's not the South Atlanta REIA anymore, it's REI USA. And meetups, realtors that you meet, PropStream, and you need to know someone who will buy a deal there. You can also go to the courthouse they're not doing the foreclosures anymore, but if they were doing foreclosures, that would be a good place to find them. Be the kingpin in your area. There I am, not with the comic book kingpin, but the real life kingpin, Damon John. You need to know any houses being sold, being bought, shopping centers, malls being built, because that's jobs. Anything being torn down, any moving or shaking in your market. You need people calling you, hey, this stuff is being built over here, or hey, I saw this house. I got a guy that does junk removal, and he sends me pics and addresses all the time. I had a guy call me this morning and said he needed a rental property. He needed a 2-1 in Dallas or Hiram, and he needs to rent it out. So if you have a property over there and you need a tenant, I'll just hand him your way. All right. Your team, as a noob with little money, you can have your realtor. You can either be a realtor, you can find somebody with a realtor, you can go through the directory and find somebody on the REI USA directory and find somebody who's a realtor in your area and connect with them. Maybe they could do comps for you, and then you can send listings their way. If you need a lawyer, I got you. I guess you can use that code and get Deal Machine. And then you can find other wholesalers, because if you ever get a deal that you can't really do anything with, you can, no, you know what you can do? No, I would post it in the Facebook group. If you need wholesalers, you can post it to the REI USA Facebook group, and say, I've got this deal, the buyer backed out, I don't have any other buyers, I'm having some trouble. And there will be other people in that area who may have a buyer. And so you can connect that way. But if you ever meet other wholesalers, don't think of them as competition. They're not competition. Real estate is a team sport. So partner up with them. Talk to 5 sellers a day, make an actual offer to a person truly interested in selling their house. Send mail to any that you don't get to. If you talk to 3 sellers, that means that you have to find 2 other sellers to mail to. Set a task in Podio and in Google Calendar to send them mail again in 30 days and repeat forever. Tag yourself in it. Okay. And what you can do is you can use for sale by owner or for rent by owner on Zillow. And you can find people that way if you can't get anybody. But if you try to get to 5 sellers a day and you don't get to, it's like a muscle. The more you use it, you'll find out that you're talking to sellers all the time. And once you talk to 1,000 sellers, most likely, the rule is 1%, you're going to get 1 deal. So if you talk to 1,000 people who really want to sell their house, chances are you're going to get one of those people who's actually going to have a good deal that's worth it to your cash buyers. And then they're also going to be willing to sell it. And then they also can sell it, like it's not in foreclosure or the mortgage isn't too high. So one of those is going to be a deal. You've got American Tracers. This is skip tracing. You can use batch driven does skip tracing. Deal Machine does skip tracing if you're using those. The free pocket list. So if you're using in your phone, in your pocket list, what this is in your phone, you have a list of a whole lot of people you used to work with, used to go to school with, a whole bunch of people. And you could set it in alphabetical order and you could call every single one of them. And you can shoot the breeze and catch up with them and find out, oh, they're working at Pizza Hut now and they're the manager. So they're moving up and they're doing better. And then you can say, well, hey, do you see any houses to buy? If you see any that are run down, send me the pictures, send me the address, I'll find them. And then send them $1, cash out them $1, whatever, just give money to them, incentivize them to send you more. And when you get those and you do those deals, send them $500 when you close and help them out. But you got to send them a little money now and then a bunch of money later, because that $500 when you close isn't really enough. But you'll find out that, and by letting all these people in your pocket list, your contacts list, know that you buy houses, it will put you on their radar. So the next time that they hear about somebody selling, wanting to sell, wanting to list, tired of their landlord, they're going to think of you. And that's what you need. It's the worst feeling in the world when you see that Facebook update and it's like, just sold my house with whatever, not me, right? Like with a realty or to another wholesaler or to, those big internet buyers. What are they called? Z buyers, net buyers, Open Door. Oh, just hit you right in the gut. Like, you didn't think of me? You have 168 hours in the week, 4 hours for your job, 4 hours for your sleep, 10 hours for work and prep, driving to and from work, 78 hours left. Let's take half of that and give that to friends and family and personal time. And then you have 39 hours left to build your empire. So you think you don't have enough time, but you really do. Okay, you can screenshot this. And this is the REI bug out bag. So when you leave the house, make sure you have most of this stuff in there and be over prepared. All right. And always have contracts on you, purchase contracts and assignment contracts. And you can get both of those in the downloads on that 12-week wholesaling course. Say no to hustle porn. It's a waste of time. Get out there and do it instead of watching people do it. Okay. There's your homework. There's my contact info. Wait. Yeah, it's due June 1st. All right. So this is your homework. It's due June 1st. You can come on to my Friday wholesaling webinar that I do. And
tell everybody when you meet.
So at 7 p.m., it wasn't last Friday or yesterday, but next Friday, I'll be doing it at 7 p.m. and then every other Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time after that. Okay. and it's for an hour, and I cover wholesaling. This month is about direct mail, so I'll be covering direct mail, and I'll give you all a little something right here. But I found this. This is free, and so I'll be talking about that and this right here. Like, this is free. It is a flat rate shipping box, and what you can do is you can get this and you can put some little candy in here. For Valentine's Day, I put little heart chocolates in here and letters. Hey, I'm interested in this house. If you're the owner, I'd be interested in buying. And you close these up, and they're like $5. So if you have a deal, and if you could meet the seller and you've already got a buyer or a bunch of buyers ready to go, and you think like, would would I pay $5 to make 10,000 on this deal? And if the answer is yes, you mail them one of these. You just literally put on here to and from, and you may even make the letter go along with the thing. So you could put in some almonds, and you'd be like, you'd have to be nuts not to deal with us and sell your house or to give up on this good deal. I put some chocolates for Valentine's Day, and I wrote a letter and said, hey, I know you love the house, but are you in love with it? And so you shake it. I mean, you get one of these, you're going to open it. All right.
Hold it up one more time. There's a couple of people like, what the hell are you holding? You're moving it around too fast.
A flat rate shipping box that you can get from USPS, and it looks like this. And you just fold it up. And
those boxes are free. You just grab a whole bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
And then what I say is, if you're driving for dollars, you could just like drop one of those off too.
There we go.
And just you like, hey, leave a little.
Yeah, you can just leave this on the front porch, and when they do their monthly, weekly drive-by, or the neighbors will see it, and they'll be like, hey, there's this thing on your front porch. They're gonna see this, and do it on the front porch, because I've left sticky notes and taped notes to the mailbox, and kids will take them. I mean, I would get calls like, are you flipping houses? And they'd be like, oh, you must have pretty big muscles. Like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay, good. What else? Okay.
Let's see. I think I got everything. Oh, PropStream also has an app as well on the phone. So if you do PropStream for getting lists and farming an area, you can have that. But the ones that I use are batch driven, and then I use Mojo Dialer, and then I use REI USA to sell the properties, and I think that's it.
And somebody asked, why aren't you using Podio anymore? What do you use?
So I use batch driven, and batch driven does everything. I tricked out my Podio and in such a way, and it did everything for me, but it doesn't do phone calls or texting. And batch driven does everything that my tricked out Podio did, plus all of that. They don't do calls yet, but that's coming. But they do texting and mailing. And before, what I had too many things. I had PropStream, which was like $100 a month. I had skip tracing sites. I had FreedomSoft as my CRM. That was like $200 a month. And I had Deal Machine, which is another $200 a month. And I got rid of all of that and just went on batch driven for $200 a month. So.
Okay, so, and then I think, and one of the things is Podio is free. That's why he shows it. So he's like, Mike is the type of person like, he can get you some free stuff. Start out with the free stuff, right? And then as you grow and you have money and stuff, then you can start, moving all up. Let me fix my hair. It's not looking good here. Okay.
Questions.
And so yeah, Podio is free. And I used Podio for many, many years as well too. I used it for my rehabbing company. He uses it for his wholesaling company. You get to customize Podio any way that you want to customize it, really, essentially. You just have to learn how to do it. It's like there's a learning curve to it.
Somebody said, just out of curiosity, send a message every 2 days. For how long? So I have 7 messages, and that's just 7 ways that we can help people by getting them funding, finding them a tenant, finding them contractors. We can pay cash for the house. We can pay payments for the house. We can help them list it with a realtor, or we can, I think, get them money for repairs. And so it's those every 2 days, because if you send them more than every 2 days, like every other day, they sort of get turned off. but I just do every 2 days. How do you handle homes on do not call list? It handles that for you. So if they're on a do not call list, they just won't deal with it. They won't get that message. And then does batch driven also show commercial or it's just residential? It shows everything. So in batch driven, it is Google Maps inside the website, and so it is not Zillow. So it does commercial, residential, and it will tell you if it's a residential or a commercial property. And then which app is this tracker? Oh, batch driven. Okay. Is Mojo Dialer easier to use than call tools? I think it is, but I had a client that had me set up his Podio specifically for storage units, Jude Hood. So if you know him, you can contact him and ask him about this. But
He's one of my students.
I set up his whole Podio to handle storage units, and he used call tools. And it was I just had to call tools and say, hey, set it up. And they were like, okay, what's your Podio? I connected it to the Podio. I then made him the admin moderator, and then I left. Mojo Dialer's easy if you're using it, but call tools will set it up for you. And their script went in there too. So when call tools, people would be calling, the script from Podio would come into call tools and you would just answer it, and then it would get blipped back to Podio.
So if anybody's not understanding, essentially what Mike is teaching you is how to automate your wholesaling business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I know it's like, maybe it's confusing because you're like, I don't even know what wholesaling is and stuff. And then if you start going to his trainings, it'll start clicking. But what he's saying is that as a wholesaler, you can automate everything, and he's giving you a free way to do it. And then there's also like, more expensive ways to do it as well too. And he started out with Podio, and then as he grew, he moved over to batch driven. For many, many years, I knew Podio. I mean, I knew Mike teaching, and he always taught Podio, and he just moved over, and he's been doing this for like 10 years. So don't get all hung up on that. Okay.
All right. Valley, I think I'm saying that right. I posted in the phone number to text script to, which I think is what you were asking. I have to watch the reply. I got a little lost. If you get a little lost, is this going to be recorded for later?
If you're lost, and you should be hanging out with Mike on a regular basis.
Okay. All right. So next Friday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And don't forget to register for that. Can they register for that now?
Yeah, they can register for that. We put all training sessions up, I think 90 days ahead. So you can go all the way up to 90 days up. So and all of them, and I totally get that y'all are all kind of like, okay, now what? Like, there's way too much going on. I mean, essentially this is like teacher spotlight. This is what REI Con is, teacher spotlight. So don't expect to walk away and be like, all right, now I'm going to go make $1 million or whatever, So you're like, this is you getting started in real estate investing, trying to figure out what you want to do. Or even if you're already in real estate investing and you're like, maybe I want to switch it up a little bit, because like I was listening to the last one and I heard, somebody talking about condos, and I was like, man, I want to give you some condos, So, and I'm do stuff self-storage. So, I mean, and all of us that are teaching, we all have a lot of different ways that we make money, but we have the one specific way that's kind of our niche, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how y'all need to get. Y'all need to master this one thing, get in here, start learning, pick that one thing, master it, connect with the teacher that you're going to be working with. And then go from there. All right. And then after you master that, you come back to REI USA. You're like, all right, time for the next section. Let's figure this out. What else am I going to do?
John said, can I hire a person to set all this up for me? If you want Podio and Zapier and all that stuff set up, you can shoot me a text and I'll tell you all.
That's like, and if you don't think the way, it's like, how do I set all this up? And this is like customizing your business to the way that you want it to run. So somebody asked, what about RealFlow? There are like CRMs out there that you just pay one fee, and it's like $100 or $200 a month or $300 a month, and you can just do that. Podio is essentially it's free, but you have to customize it to the way that you run your business versus going out and paying $100+ a month for something that's just already customized. I mean, it's already built.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
I think RealFlow has a 30-day trial.
Well, and then go to the partners page on REI USA, and we have a whole bunch of different. If you're like, I just want to go to, I just want to get somebody to do. I mean, I just want to like do some sort of thing right here. Then you would just go here to benefits and discounts right here, and these are all companies that are basically affiliates, and they all give like REI USA discounts, and and they all give you special trials and stuff right here. So there's Deal Machine that he was talking about, Flipper Force, foreclosure.com, because Darlene is talking about foreclosures here in a minute. And here's PropStream, Privy, RealFlow, so all of them are all right here. So
Yeah,
you
it
can
does.
go through this, check it out. I'm telling you, everything that you need, right, is there in the members portal. So please look into it. Even Mike, even my teachers are out there like showing people how to do it, because there's everything that you need is there, except for what you need that is not there is you getting out there and doing the work. All right. That's the only thing.
Yeah, and you got to do it if you're going to hire other people to do it for you. All of the driving for deals and the calling, you need to do it first, so that you know what to expect from them as well too. So yeah,
Yeah.
lots of elbow grease.
Yeah. Exactly. Get out there and do it. And then, and that's what happened with Mike too. He got out there, he did it. And then guess what? And this is with me too. Like after you do it for a while, you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. And then you find somebody to go do that, right? Think about if how your company would run if you were doing the things that you love, and the things that you didn't love everybody else was doing, right?